If you want to stay up to date with all current hip hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become part of this community. So we just got some news from Brockhampton, the hip hop collective that's really made its dent in hip hop over the last 5 years. And if you haven't been keeping up with Brockhampton too much over, as I said, the last couple of years with them dropping Saturation and their follow-up albums, let me give you a little introduction into what makes them so special and why I am also a big fan of them. Now, rap groups or rap collectives is something we've seen a lot over the course of hip-hop. We've had the Wu-Tang Clan, for example. We've had more modern examples like Odd Future, but none of them could really seem to, stay together nowadays. Odd Future eventually also split up, and Brockhampton was always, over the last couple of years, this rock that has just remained solid with a core member group, that's like kind of now also falling apart, but that has always, remained that solid rock that was very unique in hip hop, and that's why I appreciated them so much. Their synergy as a group is amazing. I think all of their styles fit perfectly together, and they've just delivered quality music so far. So I'm always very excited when we get new information on some new Brockhampton stuff, and we just did. There was actually quite a lot that we can go over today because they have announced new albums. They have given details on these albums. They have also announced that they will basically stop making music as a collective, and we're just going to break it down, go over, each step, each single piece of information that we have, and then kind of see how it fits in the bigger picture. So first up, they announced their new album, Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine, and it's about to drop in a week, actually, so on April 9th, and this continues to be one of those records that they dropped that has no previous connection to any of their past work, because what we had with Saturation was there was Saturation 1, then 2, and 3, and they've all kind of like been in the same style, but then they started to switch it up and try to make more independent, not as much, being reliant on those, on the definitions of the first couple of records that came in that series as just standalone projects, and I've liked them so far pretty much, and I hope that this new one is also in the same lane, and we actually got the cover art for it too, which features a very scenic background and then this kind of illuminated silhouette of Joba, which I think looks really cool, and I like the vibe of this cover art. And then we also got the track list on the back of it, also featuring the same sky sunset kind of vibe and scenery, and the track list is looking very interesting. I'm very excited about this, so let's go through this. So the first track is Buzzcut featuring Danny Brown, which we've already gotten, and I actually like that track quite a lot. We also got a music video for it, which I thought was pretty cool. Next up, we have Chain On, my bad, featuring JPEG Mafia, which that is also going to be very interesting to see that JPEG Mafia feature on here, so that's also a track that I'm looking forward to very much. Then we have Count on Me, then we have Bankroll featuring A$AP Rocky and A$AP Ferg, which I think is a huge moment for them. I think that someone like A$AP Rocky and A$AP Ferg, for them to have an official feature on here, not just a hidden feature, but like an official feature, is something big for the group. And I think this is kind of like a confirmation for them that they have been accepted in hip-hop, and that people have taken their sound and their stuff as an influence for their own. And I think that is really that's something beautiful, and I like to see that. I like that people are, in this case Rocky and Ferg, appreciating Brockhampton and noticing them. That's the big thing, which of course has been made easier over the past couple of years after they have dropped, of course, very successful stuff like Sugar or Bleach, but still, that's something that I like very much. Next up, we have The Light, then Windows, then I'll Take You On featuring Charlie Wilson, which is also another big feature on here, which I love to see. But either of those features that I just mentioned, one the A$AP features and then the Charlie Wilson feature, I think that they will fit on here perfectly. They're not just features for the sake of it, of them being features. They're actually going to be used in an artistically reliable way, and that's what I appreciate about Brockhampton, that I trust them with this responsibility of having these features, and I think that's awesome. Then we have old news, what's the occasion, and when I ball. But then also, there's a couple more. Don't shoot up the party. Dear Lord, and The Light Part 2. So, there you have it. That's the track list. I think this is looking very interesting. I'm very excited for what this is about to hold for us fans. But then there was also another piece of news that Kevin Abstract tweeted. He's, of course, like the leader of the group, if you may, also the only one who's had somewhat of a successful solo career. And he said on the same day, 2 Brockhampton albums in 2021. These will be our last. And this, of course, came as a shock to many fans. Because, one thing, we're getting 2 new albums within the next, 8 months. And this is, of course, the first one, this new album, Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine, is dropping next week. And then we're also getting another one, which is, of course, exciting. But in the same sentence, he said, these will be our last. So Brockhampton is going to stop making music. He also, I'm going to get into that a little bit in a second, but he also said new single tomorrow night, summertime vibes, ride around with the windows down with your best friend, singing super loud to the chorus type vibe. Shows the other side of the album. See y'all tomorrow. So tonight, there's a new song dropping for this album. We don't know which one yet, but I think it's going to be exciting. I can't, say too much about it because I haven't heard the song yet, but I'm excited for that song. But now getting back to them retiring, basically. I don't know if I want to make an extra video about this, because this is something that I think is kind of sad to see, but I think it is the right move. I think for them to go out when they still have somewhat of an intact legacy to leave in place, and they have not split up yet, and I think that's the most important part. We all know these hip-hop collectives are destined to fall apart. And I think for Brockhampton to take this step and say, okay, we've had a great run so far. We've kind of seen our group, our collective kind of crumble a little bit over the past 1-2 years. For them to now say, okay, we're doing these last 2 albums, and then we're out. We're leaving with a clean sheet, kind of like Seinfeld, if I can compare it to that, or Logic, for example. Then I think this is, a great move from their side. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think about this. Are you excited for this new album, Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine, next week? Which song do you think we're gonna get? And how do you feel about them kind of announcing their retirement? I'm actually pretty sad, but I think, as I just said, this is the right move. I'll see if I'll make an extra video about this. Let me know if you want to hear my thoughts on this kind of more in depth. And yeah. That's all for me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.